Kendrick Lamar had a concert recently. He invited a young lady on stage to recite some of his music. And when she started to recite the music, the crowd had a problem with what she stated in the music. And also Kendrick Lamar had a problem with that as well. But let's roll that short clip.
Let's go. Are you ready? You ready? What's your name?
The lady.
Make some noise for the lady right now.
Yes, the lady. Where we started at?
She said, where we started at. I told you every time.
Swear I got you.
Rules and Crips, all got along. They probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear letting go, waiting for.
Wait.
Am I not cool enough for you? What's up, bro? Fuck you, bitch! What's up?
My boy Rohan kind of knew the rules a little bit.
Will's just really cool, bro. You have to work.
You gotta bleep one single word though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do it?
Yeah, you did it.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Should she stay up here, y'all?
No, please keep me up here. I got you. I'll show you words. I'm used to singing it like you wrote it.
You sure?
I swear.
You got it?
I promise.
That's it.
Sorry about
Rules and
that.
Crips, all got along. They probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
Letting go. Waiting from. Where you from? All state. So much. This is my city. Run love. Rick, you gotta shit down memory lane. This is not.
It's over. Make some noise for Rohan one time. She almost had it.
Hello. Imagine a festival specifically dedicated to women and girls, honoring their cultures, traditions, and religions. That is exactly what the annual festival in Ethiopia called Ashinda is all about. Women and girls across Ethiopia participate through songs, dance, and costume. Last year, our team was fortunate enough to cover this amazing celebration, and we were all moved by the sights, sounds, beauty, and love shown at the event. The annual festival takes place again this August in Ethiopia, and our team plans to travel there this year to cover the event. We will capture the beauty of Ethiopia and connect with the people during the trip. But we need your help. As I'm sure you know, transporting a crew across the world is pricey. We need you in order to make this all possible. We are seeking donations of any size to help fund the trip. It is important for African Americans to tell our own stories. Women and girls in America don't currently have a celebration like Ashinda. Our hope is that by sharing the traditions of our sisters in Ethiopia, something similar may someday be developed. Please help make this a reality by clicking the link in the pinned comment to make a donation.
Now, you saw the crowd response to the Caucasian female saying the N-word. And I don't understand what was the problem. What's the problem? Why are you mad at her? I'm going to tell you who you should be mad at. You should be mad at Kendrick Lamar. You should be mad at any rapper that's using that word. You should be mad at these white and Jewish owned labels that control the music industry that these black men are signed to, or black women that are signed to. That's okaying them to use that word. Because it's quite funny that when Michael Jackson put a word in that was a slur to the Jewish community, it's amazing how that was actually taken out real quick. You know, the song They Don't Really Care About Us, they took that out real quick. But it's okay for black men and black women to use that word all day long in the songs. That's okay. Now, you can't say they can't repeat it and they need to censor themselves when you know the history of that word. You know that they created an N-word. That didn't come from us. That's not an African creation. But yet you do that. I don't know no other race of people that take a word that was given to them by another group of people that hate their guts, that showed they hated their guts, that murdered, raped, and pillaged their ancestors, and they use that word in their lexicon. Then they come up with, well, we taking the word back, and then we flipping it, and then we making it our own. It is still their word. I don't care how you flip it. It's still their word. It still has the same meaning. Like I said, I don't see no other group. I don't see Taylor Swift taking a word that someone else said about them that's a slur and saying that word all day long in her music. I don't see her walking up to her people and calling them what's up, my, and then whatever word she want to use is a slur. I don't see Hispanics doing that. I don't see Asian artists doing that. I don't see Arabs doing that. No other group of people is doing that, but leave it up to black people, the people that I love dearly. Leave it up to black people to repeat a word constantly, call themselves that, say they're real in, and all these other things that they state all the time. Now, I understand. I got balance with what I'm about to say. I understand because they're going to say, Phil, it is not the same like when they say it versus when we say it. It don't mean the same. I know that. Come on, I know that. But what I'm saying is when you doing things mainstream. See, when hip hop was underground and hip hop was just something that we listened to and they didn't listen to it at all, like back in, let's say, the 90s, 80s, things like that. They listened to it here and there, but it wasn't mainstream back then. Like it's really mainstream now. OK, so since it's really mainstream now, then you have to say, you know what, we're going to have to throw this out. I mean, shoot, Papoose made a song called Alphabetical Slaughter. He went from A to Z. Those of you who never heard it, you can Google it, look on YouTube, find the song. Why don't you listen to Alphabetical Slaughter and look at the letter N and maybe find a word you want to use outside of that? You want to need something with the letter N in it, because this has to stop. Those people aren't censoring themselves in their vehicles. They aren't censoring themselves in no concert. For sure, they're not censoring themselves at the house, but you are the one that keep reinforcing it. So your records are selling millions of times. People all over the world repeating exactly what this girl's repeating. And then you wonder why people call us that. It can't be offensive if we're using it in music constantly. It can't be offensive if we greet each other with that constantly. At least go back to how we used to do it. We used to do it like this. Okay, among each other, we'll use it. But when the white folks be around, no. We don't want them to get comfortable with us saying it around them. They think they could come around us and say it. That's how we used to do it back in the 80s and 90s. But y'all today, y'all don't have no respect for the culture. A lot of you don't. You say any old thing in front of them. You teach them the language. You teach them the lingo. You teach them the dance. You teach everything. It's like, dog, that's why black people aren't respected, because we don't have nothing to ourselves. Or somebody has to say, well, I need to go to black people to hear this or see this or whatever. We don't protect our culture. We don't protect anything. We give it out. And on top of we giving it out, people abuse us, talk about us and everything, and we still give it out. Until we as black people take responsibility and hold those artists to the fire and tell them, stop using that word in that mainstream music. Kendrick is too mainstream to be using that. He's not somebody that's underground or just got started and nobody know. He's way too mainstream. But see, they allowed that. Let Kendrick Lamar start using some slurs toward the Jewish community or the gays or anybody else. Watch what they do to Kendrick Lamar. Watch how quick he'll be running and ducking his tail and apologizing. But it's okay for him to put that word in his music and this white female up here repeating it and you booing her and cussing her out. Don't do that. Kendrick Lamar is the problem. And many people who are artists on the mainstream like him. That just get on my nerves. Black people are way too talented to keep repeating the same freaking word. Can y'all find something else to say? Hip hop artists, I know you can. You guys are basically doing poetry to music. That's all you're doing. Surely you can find something else to call black people outside of that word. And if at least you're going to do it, go back old school. I'm going to repeat that again. Only use it among black people. They come around, you quit all that. We can't get mad if we use it so loose with the tongue. We use it, we don't care, but then we get mad if they say it. And then they're repeating it the way you're saying it. We ain't talking about the ER. We talking about the GA. But you want to get pissed off. You can't get pissed off. You can't say crap. You really can't. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. And let me ask you a question. You leave me a comment. Do you feel the rappers must take responsibility for this? Or do you feel that it's okay to be putting this in music, but want to get mad if somebody white repeats it?